What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Yoga with Conn. We've got an awesome class today, nice deep stretch. It is about 50 minutes long. We're going to get into the full body. We're going to feel really, really good. So let's get started on the mat. Child's pose. We're going to lower down here to the mat. Hands below shoulders, knees below hips. Send the knees wide and bring your big toes to touch. Sink the hips back towards the heels. Reach the fingertips forward and melt your forehead down to the mat. Breathing in, feel the belly fill up between the thighs and finding a softening in the body on an exhale. Finding expansion with each breath. Maybe sinking the hips a little closer towards the heels as you exhale. Explore reaching the fingers nice and long, extending the spine. Then exhale, soften in the chest and the shoulders. Stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. Finding an intention, a reason why you showed up today. Maybe it's to build strength, balance, take care of your body. Whatever that word is, whatever your reason is, use that to come back to anytime the mind wanders. Anytime you need your motivation to keep going, to keep holding a little longer. Walk the fingers over to the left side of the mat. Right hand on top of left. Take a big breath in. Anchor down through your right hip. Feel the right side body fill up as you breathe in. Exhale, soften. Inhale, walk your fingers through center. Exhale, walk your hands over to the right. Left hand on top of right, forehead down. Breathe in, feel the left ribs expand. Exhale, sink your left hip towards the left heel. Inhale guides you back through center. Shift forward on the hands. They move below your shoulders. Your knees tucking in underneath the hips. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round through your back. Chin drops towards chest, tailbone tucks, belly button pulls in. Really arching through your shoulder blades here. Inhale, gaze begins to rise, belly drops, tailbone lifts. Exhale, round through the back, chin to chest. This time send your hips back towards your heels. Child's pose. The knees are in this time instead of wide, that's okay. Inhale, shift forward to the hands. Gaze comes up, belly drops, tailbone lifts. Exhale, round in the back, chin to chest. Start hinging in the shoulders. Send your hips back to your heels. One more just like that. Inhale brings you all the way up, belly drops. Exhale, round through the back as you push back, child's pose. Inhale, shift forward to all fours. Tuck your toes and send your hips straight up and back. Find a downward facing dog. Let your head drop in between your biceps. the gaze between your inner thighs. Bend one knee at a time, lifting in the heel, finding a nice calf stretch. Maybe even a stretch all the way through the soles of your feet. Inhale, look up to your hands. Bend your knees, step to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Drop the chin to the chest. Exhale, empty the belly. Feel the head fall. Gentle bend in your knees here. Reaching for opposite elbows. Find a ragdoll's pose. Find a gentle sway side to side. Explore the weight of your toes. Gently release the arms. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to the shin. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Palms come to touch. Exhale, drop your hands to the heart center and lower your hands down by your side body. We start to just shift our weight side to side, letting the hands hit opposite hips, little tree trunk twisting, and eventually lifting the arms up a little so that they're hitting the belly and the lower back area. This is a good detoxifying move, good for stimulating our organs and our kidneys, just helping drain fluids in our body, blood, joints, lymphatic system. It's just a few more rocks here. Speed it up. Let the arms fall loose. Exhale as you twist. Slow it down. Start to find some stillness as you meet to the front of the mat. Arms are out by the side. Slow down. Just moved a lot of energy. Let it settle in the body. Inhale. Sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale. Hands to heart. Go ahead and interlace your fingers, making a steeple grip. Inhale, shoot your arms up overhead. Heel toe the feet together. Reach tall. Exhale, lean over to your left. Breathing into the right rib cage. Feel it lift towards the sky. And soften. Inhale all the way up through center. Exhale, lean it over, opposite side. Breathing into the side body, feeling it lift. And just softening on our exhales. Inhale, all the way up through center. Exhale, hands move to the round of our backs. Elbows squeeze together, gaze comes up. Heel toe your feet, hips width distance apart. Breathe in, puff up in your chest, lift your gaze, squeeze the elbows. And on an exhale, sink your hips forward. Let the head fall. Inhale, feel the collarbones spread. Exhale, drop the gaze behind you. Inhale, slowly rise. The hands fall down the back side of your legs. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Nice long spine here. Exhale, fold. Heel toe your feet together so that the big toes are touching. Strong bend in the knee, connect belly and thigh. Inhale, sweep your arms parallel to the ground ahead of you. Pinkies turn in, chair pose, knees are bent. Sinking the hips, tucking our tailbone, pulling the lower abdomen in, working to fire up the legs and the core here. On your next exhale, sweep your fingertips back, reach the pinkies together. Inhale, reach your arms forward. Exhale, sweep your arms behind you. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. One more time. Big inhale ahead. Exhale, sweep your arms behind you. Come to a stand. Interlace your fingers behind you. Punch your fists down. Inhale, gaze comes all the way up. Exhale, hinge at the feet. Forward fold. Holding your bind, challenging your balance. On the exhale, slowly release the fingers, lower your hands to the floor, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, set your hands to the mat, step your feet back to a high plank. I promise you this is still a deep stretching class. Go ahead and push your heels back, feel the calves lengthen. And then bend your knees. Send your hips back to your heels. Keep your knees floating. Inhale, lengthen the body. Push the heels back. Find that stretch in your shins. Exhale, send the hips back. Hover the knees. We warm up our muscles. Inhale, shift forward. Shift the knees back so that we can get deeper in our stretches. Exhale, slowly lower everything to the belly. Drop your knees, your chin, your chest. Keep the hands below the shoulders, the tops of your feet down on the mat. Feet are about hips width distance apart. Inhale, lift your chest. Be really light in the fingers here. Exhale, lower down. Slide your fingers and hands next to your ribs. Inhale, straighten through your arms. Lift all the way up. Seals pose. Holding here for a few rounds of breath. Try to relax your shoulders, letting the shoulder blades fall down the back body. Feeling the compression in your lower back. Exhale, slowly lower your torso down. Slide the fingers forward so that the elbows are under the shoulders. The chest lifts. Sphinx pose. Breathing in, the belly connects with the ground. Exhale, pushing into our elbows a little more, lifting tall in the crown of the head. Connecting with our breath. Sometimes staying still is one of the hardest things. This pose is incredible for our posture. Most of the time throughout our day, we're looking down at something, keyboard, phone, computer, book, just a lot of times looking down. So doing this opposite pose in our spine can be super beneficial. On an exhale, slowly start to lower. You can move the weight to your hands and pivot the elbows out and the fingertips towards one another. Lower the forehead. If you want to create a little fist with one of your hands, you can balance the forehead there. And then find some little rocks side to side, just to loosen up in the back a little bit. And then find some stillness. Get the wiggles out. The left ear will come down to the mat. The left hand moves under the left shoulder. Bend your right knee. Bend your left knee. Send your right hand out to a T. We're going to flip our gaze too. I gave you guys the wrong hand to start with. Right ear to the mat. Left hand under shoulder. Left knee bent. Right hand is out to a T. Breathe in. And then exhale. Push through your left hand. Roll onto your right side. Let your left foot land. Find any adjustments in your right hand, moving it up or down so that the shoulder is comfortable. This again, aiding our posture, opening up in the chest. You have the option to take your left hand straight up and then wrap the back of your hand towards the lower back to find a bind. Feel a little more sensation in the right shoulder when we do this. If it's too much, you can always place the hand down. If you want to take it a little more, you have the option to extend your left heel all the way out and straighten the left leg. Wherever you are, maybe rebending that left knee, releasing a bind. All of our left hand will be under your shoulder. Slowly lower back to the belly, unraveling. Left knee hits, gaze comes to the ground. Right hand comes under right shoulder. Left arm out to a T. Right knee bends. Left ear drops to the ground. Take a big breath in. Exhale, push into the right hand, roll onto the left side body. Right foot lands outside of that left leg. Find any adjustments in the hand, moving it up or down so there's comfort in the shoulder. And then you've got the same options here. You can reach the right arm straight up and then drop it so that the back of the hand is facing the lower back. Fingertips reach for the left hip. You can straighten your leg here if you took that on the other side. If you want to explore trying it in the opposite hip, you can do that too. Slowly rebend your knee, unbind from your lower back. The right hand is under the right shoulder as we lower our body back over, twisting the belly to the ground. Gaze comes down. Left hand comes under left shoulder. Inhale, pushing up, roll back onto your knees. Send the hips all the way back. Big toes come to touch, knees go wide. Child's pose. Take 1 or 2 breaths here. Inhale, shift forward onto hands and knees. Knees come in, untuck the toes. Inhale, lift high in the hips. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look up to your hands. Bend your knees, step to the front of the mat. Forward fold. We've got a gentle bend in the knees. Feet are about hips width distance apart. The right hand lands in between the feet. Bend your right knee. Straighten the left leg. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. Option to find a bind, twisting in the hand, lowering the back of your hand to the outer right hip. Inhale, release the bind. Exhale, we all lower. Forward fold, straighten your right leg. Left hand lands, bend your left knee, straighten your right leg. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Gaze can follow the hand. Option to find a bind, twisting the thumb to the back of the room, bending the elbow, lower the back of your hand to the left hip. Inhale, releasing the bind. Exhale, lower everything down to the mat. Gentle bend in both knees this time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back. Go ahead and wiggle your right toes forward so that the toes are ahead of the knee, and then gently lower your back left knee. Untuck the toes. Notice, is your right knee stacked over your right ankle? Can you see your big toes? We want to make sure of that here. You have the option to stay with your hands on the mat, framing your front foot. Or slowly bring both hands up to the right knee, straighten the arms, push your body away. Gentle back bend, challenging the balance. Go ahead and come up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, sink the hips a little lower. Inhale, lift up in the chest. Exhale, sink the hips. Really plant down through the right heel, squeezing the inner thighs towards one another for balance. Staying connected with the breath. Holding our poses just a little bit longer today. We've got a few more rounds of breath here. All right. Slowly lower the hands to frame the front foot. Start to straighten your right knee and leg. Walk the hands back towards the hips. Your right toes start to peel up. Stay with your balance, stay with your breath. Inhale, lift up in the chest, maybe coming up on the fingertips. Exhale, sink a little bit lower. My favorite tip, pretending like we've got gum on the back of this front heel. This action like you were scraping the gum off your shoe really lengthens us through your hamstring. Slowly walk the hands forward, bend the right knee, frame the front foot. We're going to heel toe our right foot out to the side just a little bit. We want to widen up our stance. And then slowly drop the left hand to the mat, right hand, right knee, pivot, open, belly button turns towards the inside of the right thigh. Take a look at your right elbow. Lower your right elbow into your hip crease, creating some more space between our shoulder and ear, a place we carry a lot of tension. We all reach our right hand straight back towards the foot. Bend in your left knee. Stay here. Or if you want to deepen your stretch in the quad, you can continue reaching and bending. Hand connects with the outside of the foot. It's okay if you're not here. If you haven't reached, stay here. Maybe take some pulses with the back foot. Work into it. We'll all gently release our foot, windmill our hand back inside of the right foot this time. Square the hands under the shoulders, right toes almost off the mat completely. The back toes are untucked, lizard's pose. You can stay here. If you have any sensitivity in the knees or it just isn't feeling great today, you can take a little more active stretch, lifting up and the back left knee. If you want a little more sensation and the knees down, you can explore coming onto your forearms, working to keep the head lifted, just not letting the chin fall too much. We want to keep the gaze towards the hands, towards the mat. Wherever you are, you can find some little rocks side to side, just getting a little movement. It's a big stretch we got going on here. Start to find that stillness. Come up to your hands if you've lowered onto the forearms. We all untuck the back toes. We lift up in the back knee, nice and slow. Step your right foot back to meet the left, high plank. Slowly lower to the belly and rest. You can bring the backs of the hands underneath the forehead. Find some little rocks side to side. And bring your awareness to the tops of the thighs, the quads. Maybe you notice one has a little more surface area than the other. It's all good. We're going to even it out. But just show that gratitude for that work you put in to open up the connective tissue, to relax the muscles. Let's go ahead and take that on the other side. Slowly bring your hands under your shoulders, tuck the toes, push up in the arms, roll over the knee tops, send the hips high, downward facing dog. Stay here for 2 rounds of breath. Just notice how the 2 sides of your body feel. Maybe one feels lighter than the other, a little more open, less tense. Inhale, look up to your hands, bend your knees, step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back this time. Go ahead and scoot your left foot forward and then lower your right knee to the mat. Untuck the toes. Start to walk your hands up towards the left knee, lifting up in the chest, pushing the body away from your bent knee. Maybe the gaze comes all the way up. Stay with your balance. Stay with your breath. Slowly start to come out of any back bend, lifting up tall in the chest. Breathing in to any tension, any tightness. Exhale, sink the hips a little lower. Our breath is our energy, it's our life force. It has healing powers. Breathe into that tightness. Send that fresh, clean energy there. And on the exhale, use the breath to detox the tension, 2 more rounds of breath here. Make it count. Slowly lower your hands to frame the front foot. Heel toe your front leg out to the side. The right hand lands. The left hand comes up to the left knee. Twist the belly button in towards the inner thigh. Take a look at your left elbow. Notice if you need to lower it towards your left hip crease. Option to reach your left hand straight back towards your foot. Bend in the right knee. Find your pulses. Find your reach. Or maybe find a full bind, reaching for the outside of your foot. Stay with me here. I know that these are big stretches. We've got our biggest muscles right now that we're working. Gently release the foot. Go ahead and plant both hands inside of the left foot. Straighten through your left knee. We take a lizard half split. Inhale, lift up in the chest. Walk the hands towards the body. Exhale, lower a little more. Hands walk back away. Slowly shift forward. Stay here. Again, if you got anything going on in the knee, or if you want more of an active stretch, you can lift up in the back right leg. Or keep the knee low. And maybe come onto the forearms. Left toes are facing towards the left side of the mat. Maybe you find some little rocks side to side. Two more rounds of breath here. Inhale, come up to hands, heel toe, your front foot in between your hands. Start to walk the hands back towards the hips. The left toes lift up towards the body. Back toes are untucked here. Inhale, lift up in the chest. Exhale, sink the hips a little lower. We've got that action, like gum is on the back of our heel again. Again, sending the breath wherever we're tight. And on the exhale, asking that same area to just relax. Go ahead and start to walk the hands forward. Hands come to the mat, untuck your back toes, lift your back knee, step it back, high plank. Exhale, drop to your knees, lower to the belly. Go ahead and just feel it out. Notice the two sides of your body. Give yourself some little rocks and wiggles here. And then find some stillness. Push back up. We come to tabletop. Walk our hands back. Scoot your feet off to one side. Let's come to a seated position. We'll start in a butterfly pose. Soles of the feet come to touch. Knees drop wide. We've got a few options here. If you want to get more into the lower back, go ahead and slide your heels further away from the body. If you like to get a little more on the inner thighs, heels come in. So it's your choice, dealer's choice today. Inhale, wherever you're at, lift tall in the crown of the head, grabbing onto your ankles. And then exhale, bend your elbows, pulling your torso down towards the legs. Start to let the head fall, the chin drops to chest. Maybe walking the hands to cup the toes. Lowering the head. Noticing on the inhales, the expansion on the lower back. Just getting into that connective tissue, relieving tension. When we put this gentle stress on our connective tissue, that's when we're able to hydrate the tissue, work on the flexibility, the elasticity, and the overall health of the tissue. So again, send your breath there. Let your breath be your healing energy. Inhale, slowly rise, push the hands into the ground, straighten your arms, walk the hands back towards the body. Extend your right leg out. Pull your left foot into the inner right leg. Right hand outside of right hip. Inhale your left arm up to the sky. Exhale, hinge, reach for the outside of the right leg, ankle, or foot. Inhale, lift up in the chest. Exhale, bend your elbow, lower your body towards the leg. Nose drops towards knee.
When we're in that place of peace, we experience our innermost strength, smoother edges, and boundless depth. And when we come from that place in our inner and outer relations, every choice we make resounds throughout all creation.
Slowly release your hand from the foot. Inhale, start to rise. Left arm by left ear. Exhale, lower everything down. Place your left hand outside of your left hip. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Push down in your shin. Lift the hips high. Stargazer. Let your top arm float and reach behind you. Breathing into the front body. Exhale, slowly lower everything down. We're going to switch it out. Go ahead and bend your right knee. Send your left leg long. Right heel inside of left thigh. Left hand behind left hip. Right arm reaches up high. Exhale, hinge and reach for the outer calf, ankle, or foot. Inhale, lift up in your chest. Exhale, bend your elbow, pull your chest towards your leg. Drop your nose towards your knee. Noticing any relief in the lower back left hip. Using the power of our breath, just like the power of our thoughts. Send your breath where your body needs it. Slowly release the foot. Start to walk the hand back towards your body. Sit up nice and tall. Right hand outside of right hip. Reach your left arm high. Exhale, push into the shin. Hips go high. Let the top arm drop behind you. Find this gentle back bend. Opening up the front body. Exhale, lower everything down. Top arm spins to the outside of the leg. Go ahead and extend your left leg long, wide-legged, seated position. All right. Sit up nice and tall. Toes are actively pointed up towards the body. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge, leaning forward. Let the hands fall. Inhale up onto your fingertips. Active toes, they're pointed up. Exhale, hinge in your hips, walk the fingers forward. One more step. Inhale, come up on the fingertips. Exhale, hinge a little deeper. Breathe in. Exhale, start to lower the forearms towards the ground. Letting the torso fall, chin dropping towards chest. Maybe finding some little sways side to side. Find some stillness if you were swaying. Inhale up onto the fingertips, straighten the arms, walk the hands back towards the body. Go ahead and reach the hands behind the knees. Find a little bend, bring everything in. We'll go ahead and scoot our hips forward, sliding down onto our backs. Knees coming into chest. Give yourself a nice little hug. If you've got any clips or little ponytails in, I always recommend moving them when you're on your back. I think it's nicer to have a nice long spine here. Find some little rocks side to side. Giving some love to the lower back. Go ahead and start to send the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Reach your peace fingers towards your big toes. Find a bind. And then bend the elbows again. Pull the knees towards the outer underarms. Happy baby. Working to keep the tailbone nice and flat. The back of the head down on the mat. Full spinal extension here. Reaching tall from crown to tailbone. Gently release the feet. Pull the knees back through center. Set the feet down onto the ground. Hands, the palms are facing down next to the hip. Tuck the tailbone. Feel the lower back connect with the mat. On an inhale, start to lift one vertebrae at a time. Squeezing the inner thighs towards one another. Pause at the top. Take a big breath in. Watch the belly fill up. Exhale, push the hips a little higher. Watch the breath empty out of the belly. On your next exhale, start to lower one vertebrae at a time. Let the tailbone be the last to untuck. Notice that wave-like motion with the spine. As you breathe in, the lower back may start to lift off the mat. Exhale, flatten the spine towards the mat. Tuck the tailbone. Breathe in, feel the lower back connect. The whole back body connects with the mat. Exhale, soften everything. Just let the body go normal. Notice how much control your breath and how much control you have over the body. Tuck the tailbone. Start to breathe in. Exhale, relax. Pull both knees into chest. Keep your right knee hugged in. Extend your left leg long, left heel to the mat. Leg is straight. Left toes are pointed up towards the sky. Breathe in, working to connect belly and thigh. Exhale, hug the knee in towards your chest. Inhale, the belly finds the thigh. Next breath in, reach your right arm out to a T. Left hand holds onto the knee as you exhale, find a twist. If this is ever too much, you can create a fist with your hand, placing it underneath the knee. Bringing a little support to the right leg. Maybe the gaze goes over the right fingertips. Breathing in, feeling the whole belly still fill up. Even when we're twisted like this, there's always room for the breath. Inhale, gaze comes up through center. Pull your knee through the middle. Squeeze your left knee in to meet the right. And extend your right leg long. Right toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hug the left knee in towards the chest. Breathing in, feeling the belly connect with the thigh. Exhale, find your twist. Your leg drops to the right. Your left arm reaches out to a T. Option to use your fist underneath your knee. Gaze can go over to the left fingertips. Inhale, everything comes up through center. Pull the right knee in. Give yourself a hug. Palms come on the tops of the knees. Let the weight of your feet pull the knees away from the body. The arms are straight. The fingertips holding the weight of the legs. Breathe in. Feel the lower back connect with the mat. Slowly release the feet to the mat. Drop the knees wide. The soles of the feet come to touch. Supine butterfly pose. You can stay here, or you can lift the arms up and overhead, the back of the palms, the back of the hands. Drop to the ground behind you. Full front body opener. You can stay here as long as you like. You can hold this pose for your Shavasana. Or if you'd like to start extending the legs long, let the toes fall wide. You can bring the hands down by the side body. Palms can face up or down. Find your comfort in your shoulders, the back of your head, in your hips, your heels. Get the wiggles out. And then we take this final moment at the end of every practice for stillness, to let all of the energy we've just moved with our breath, the new areas of our body we've opened up, we let the body absorb and digest the work we've just done. I invite you to stay here as long as you like, maybe even choosing to pause the video. Or if you're ready to find some movement with me, you can start to move the fingers, connecting the thumb to each fingertip, wiggling the toes, rolling the ankles and the wrist. Extend the arms nice and long, point your toes, take a nice big breath in. Exhale, hug everything in, knees pull to your chest. Taking a moment, remembering your intention, your why you came here today, why you put in the work. We find our way up to a seated position. You can roll through one side. You can rock and roll up to a seated position. We end all yoga classes. Well, maybe not all of them, but we'll end today's class seated, hands down by our side body. Bringing a smile to our face, bringing our hands to our heart center. Finding gratitude for our ability to move and nourish our bodies, for taking time for ourselves, and for building a stronger future self, mind, body, and soul. Bring your hands to your third eye center, the place between your brow. Together we bow as we say, Namaste. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and follow along for more. I'll be here. Have a great day.